So let's hope everything is working. Headshots, welcome back, how you doing? First time playing Forza Motorsport 2 and we now have a randomizer mod, which means every reward car is going to be randomized. So if you're not sure if the install was successful, it has to show Forza Motorsport 2 randomizer on the bottom. My home region changes the cost of the cars. Okay, do we want to be in Germany? Or do we want to be in Japan? Okay, Europe, North America, Asia. Europeans are definitely going to be good, but so are going to be the Asians. I'm not sure if the Americans can keep up. Initially locked in Asia and Europe. Okay, so it's about to start the cars. Start with a Golf. Well, then we have to go to Europe. There is a Mark II Golf. Or a Corrado. No, it's not Forza Horizon. Ah, there's the Golf 5. 2006 Golf GTI. Let's see about D369. Damn, that's fine. Oh yeah. It is the best one too. How can I not pick it? And it's available in red. Oh, we get a winner. Professional. I wonder how the steering is gonna be. Can you customize this? Professional European driving a Golf GTI. Let's go. Let's jump right in. Never played this game before, so this is gonna be interesting. PI. That's way better than PP. How strict is the game with borders? No rewind. I didn't even think about rewinding until you mentioned it. Let's see if there's penalties. Oh yeah, 0.8 seconds. Should be fine though. Oh, we don't have cockpit cameras. Hood, which has a swivel. Okay, that's kind of weird. The swivel of the driver looking to the corner. That always messes me up. I actually hate that. Because he looks into the corners differently than I personally do, so it always throws me off a little. Okay, that's not okay. I can deal with that. So we can have far cam, or we can have bal cam. If you really need to. The two races left, you have 230 credits from driver level 2, and you have in the bank. Where to? Oh, I can buy upgrades in between. Powertrain swap, that's too early. Surprisingly cheap. How about a turbo? Ah, too expensive. New cooler, too expensive. Like, if I buy anything, it's gonna be the best part. I'm not buying any intermediate shit and waste my money. So, in order to have a randomizer even working, you need the newer version of the Xenia Canary emulator. Right? It uses your profile name as a seed for the randomizer. So if you want a different experience, make a new user profile before you start the game. And yeah, shouts to Mister for making the mod. This has been a long time coming because, well, I had a 360, but I never thought about getting the Forza Motorsport games because, to be honest, I never even knew those were good. If I'm perfectly honest, right? Did not expect them to be any relevant. Until I played Motorsport 4, that one I really liked. So we're going a bit in reverse. Apparently the first Motorsport was on the original Xbox, which has a hard time being emulated, so we're gonna visit that in the future when it actually works. This is the only Motorsport that he 100%ed. Man, I just looked at the amount of events. That took a lot of time, didn't it? 20 years of Forza. Yeah, but isn't it a shame that, you know, no one is really excited for the current Motorsport title? Like, Gran Turismo easily won this generation. And kind of previous generation too, if you ask me. Right, the last Motorsport wasn't that enjoyable either. Damage penalty, car rarity bonus. Oh, interesting. So I assume the rarity is dependent on the actual cost. Dude, maybe I should just keep playing. There's so many discounts. I'm getting so many discounts, and I think I'm just gonna keep playing until... Is there maximum discount, by the way? Is there a time where it's not worth waiting anymore? Visual mods adds car rarity. Oh, so you actually could make a profit from a customization. Oops, sorry, Rossi. Ah, damage! Yes, we play with realistic damage for more credits. Okay, that was my red suspension. 20% discount on production cars. Okay, cool. Last race was 5 and 10%. 10 and 15%. Are you guys ready for the first mystery car? This is where the randomizer kicks in. It has a shape. Ooh, a Solstice. Also a D-Class car. True, because with the randomizer, even the mod tells me we don't know what you're gonna get. Dude, I would have died from laughter if it was another NSX. Hey, this game has been presented to you by Mad Monk. Supplements link in the description below. Hey guys, Kuru here. Check out Instant Gaming for cheap game keys. Click the link in the description below. Okay, give me some anecdotes. What do you guys like about this game? It has a golf, yep. It has at least 2 goals. So if you are about to lose, you can just take a mega cut, sacrifice a lap time, and just win. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Especially since we don't have a rewind button in this game. I think I might need to take advantage of that feature at some point. The cars drive good. To be fair though, we have a stock Golf here, so fairly easy to control. Your performance is under additional support from manufacturers in your home region, adding a discount on production cars. Golf level 1 reward. Oh, what? I only get a 10% discount for flywheel upgrades by Eurosport. And they're available on Audi, Mercedes, Porsche and Volkswagen. Okay. I'm not sure if there's any brands missing, right? Like that, I don't have that information. Is it only 4 German brands? That would surprise me, but possible. Yo bro, is it a Supra? Oh no, it's an RX-7, damn it. Got thrown off. No, it's an RX-7, of course. Looks nice though. Abflug. I didn't really see the stats for it. Oh, interesting. So best lap stays alive even if you restart. That's kind of nice. I feel like for the beginning they could have given you a little bit more track variety. But all the races happen on this track in the beginning. I guess that helps your track mastery, but it might not help, you know, keeping people hooked. But usually to keep people hooked on something, it has to change quite quickly in the beginning, you know, give you a lot of different experiences. See, this is actually a penalty where I feel like you could actually gain from this, you know, for a time trial. I bet there's a few corners where if you cut them like this, you're gonna save more than the penalty. Yeah, I'm definitely increasing the AI difficulty. First of all, it's gonna give me more money, but we need a challenge. I agree. I just left it on professional and see what happens, but yeah, opponents need a buff. Okay, no penalty for cones. I'm too lazy to correct this one. I gotta say, for a fantasy track, this is pretty boring. Gotta be honest, Gran Turismo did better. So, what's our new secret car? Oh, a Mugen Honda S2000. Oh yeah, it says I have tire life. Is there any way for me to see my... Oh, telemetry. I mean, this is great. Well, it makes sense. If it's above 100%, the car is sliding. They have race compound. How do you have so much wheel spill all of a sudden? Yeah, I don't think I need anything with this. Ah, there it is. Playing around with all the settings that I have available. So I see engine heat, and I see... Assume green means right temperature. So my rear tires are a bit cold, but I think this might be the first track that I've ever seen in a Forza Motorsport. Ooh. Does the game have a reset button when you mess up? Windows are shattered. Even one of the rear windows. Poor Golf. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Finally, he's playing it. Yes. We got to it. You can definitely tell where they sacrificed fidelity to get 60 FPS going, but in my opinion, always a worthy sacrifice when it comes to racing games. My favorite Forza Motorsport 4. Don't think that's gonna change anytime soon. Like, it's hard to believe that they will ever make another one like it. And talking about, you know, what's impressive on 360 hardware, right? Motorsport 4 was on a 360. This was your first generation Forza Motorsport on that console. We're also enjoying the game with the original soundtrack, so that's a win. I mean, honestly, just from the gameplay, yes, this is better. This is more fun than the new Forza Motorsport. For some reason, I thought that this particular racetrack is exclusive to Gran Turismo. More events, more customization, better install music, better damage movement. Yeah, it's just better. Especially, like, it's so hard to just play the new Forza Motorsport. Like, the boredom creeps in so quickly. It's unfair. The only thing that's better in the new game is the graphics, man. And I guess the driving physics. But it's just not very fun, you know? Call me old-fashioned, but I wanna have some fun from my games. The problem is, you know, my problem with the new Forza Motorsport, it has such a big stigma, which I don't think you will ever shake. It just broke the confidence in their fans. You know, it's kind of like the Need for Speed franchise. release another game that most people don't like, then it doesn't really matter what you do anymore. Oh, that was actually alright. You know why I think Forza Motorsport 9 will happen? They always need a testing ground for the next Horizon. But if the next Horizon uses the technology of the current Motorsport, then, it doesn't matter how much Motorsport flops. If that makes sense. If it helps, the success and the sales of Forza Horizon, then it doesn't matter at all. Right? It's like a sacrificial sheep. A lamb. You sacrifice Motorsport to dine with Horizon. Right, Forza is now a new generation engine, right? So, the new Motorsport, so if they use that for the new Horizon, then it did serve its purpose. Commercially, success or not doesn't matter too much. Hello, Ford Focus. Focus Sport tune. 250 kilowatts. Actually, what's the conversion from kilowatts to horsepower? Alright. What happened to my car? Okay, let's try something new. Oh, I have an A car. It's really fast. So I was actually curious, what are my opponents gonna drive? I guess it doesn't really tell me ahead of time. Okay, I can see my stats. My car is hella fast. Oh, hard is the highest. There's only easy, medium, and hard. Curious how difficult hard difficulty really ends up being. Very aggressive AI, man. And I did leave the window open, I guess. In old Forzas, if your car is the fastest on the grid, it puts you in the front. That makes a lot of sense. that sounds like fair play. Rivals face off. Oh, it's this. Choose a side. Ferrari face off pits legendary models against each other. Ooh. Viper versus Corvette. Ferrari versus Lamborghini. Honda versus VW. Oh, you have to bring your car. Oh, we're on hard difficulty. Let's go. Who knows that I hate Tsukuba? The thing is, when the resolution is so low, the distance becomes really blurry. It reminds me a little bit of playing in VR. Gave feedback to Forza Motorsport developers and they asked you why you play less often because the game isn't fun. What? We don't understand. What is fun? Explain. We simulated the fun out of the game. What do you think? Can you monetize fun? Actually, you can. Like, someone that is enjoying video games is a lot more likely to spend money on it. Oh, this is actually kind of cool. Arcade car, career car. Mugello. Another Porsche. So they must have struck a deal with EA, right? Because that game definitely came out before 2015, and EA had the exclusive rights to Porsche cars. So I wonder how much they paid EA to get the cars in. I think this is gonna be more fair. Wait, you said you can tell? Ah, there, opponents. 374. Yeah, I can beat the hard opponents with an untuned car. Let's go back to normal. Then we have a chance. So sadly, we do not have cockpit cameras. It's called the Xenia emulator. That allows you to play the game on PC, which allows you to use this randomizer mode. It all comes together. Your fuckmuck is going strong. I need to remake the merch store. They killed off their old store and I need to make a new one. M3 mug? Sure. Was it the one with the M3 logo or with the M3 car on it? What were you thinking of when you said the M3 mug? Like, were you thinking of the car or were you just thinking of the livery for the pattern? M3 shaped mug. That might be a little bit harder to make. There's a lot of nice music in the game soundtrack, which you would usually only hear in the menus, but Spotify magic, you can have it during the race. It's a pretty weird decision from the developers that they take it away from you, right? That you can choose, hey, do I want to hear the music in the race? Do I want to hear the music in the menu? Right, what do I want? What's going on here? If I ever develop a game, there's going to be a lot of optionality in it, where the player just can choose how they want to play it. Oh, the car is actually smoking. Do you not want to do this race again? Yeah, the penalty only applies to the time trial, not to the race. Like, it only checks your best lap time is gonna get wrecked, but you're still winning the race. You don't have a real life typical penalty. Ooh, Maserati. The number 35 easy competizione MC12. More than 500 horsepower, 1100 kilos. Not bad. It's a pretty good car. The thing about these shootouts here, they didn't pay a lot of money. Semi-pro. Regional championships, and that's a lot. 100% here could take a while. Guess we can finish up inline. I think we need a faster car. 441. We're not gonna beat that. Abflug. German tuner, I guess, or a tuner that likes German. Can you buy further upgrades for these? Oh, you can. Sweet. Wait, how are their stats so similar? Like, what's the difference between these two? Like, it's front-wheel drive. Like, I don't understand how this is 500 and this is 700. Looking at the stats, sure, I have a bit more acceleration and top speed, but not that much. Kind of in the mood for a new car, though. Let's give it a go. That Focus doesn't seem too exciting. Man, I am not a fan of the old hatchbacks. The Civic didn't look that good. The Focus doesn't look that good. No wonder there was a bunch of customization going on in Underground. Well, it's a very similar experience to the Gran Turismo games, right? You do a certain event type, you unlock a new car, the new car is eligible for another event type. Handling's good, graphics are right. It's a fun driver, I would say. Why did it make the Focus so fat? I would say just for the space inside. This might actually be quite nice for like ownership of this car when people inside have more space to sit. little of a performance difference. I already turned it up to high difficulty. What else can I do? You were right, the soundtrack of this game is kind of nice. I wonder how many of the songs are gonna trigger some kind of copyright issue. The reason why I go left here is because I feel like the race continues there, and then I'm like, nope. We don't need time trials anyways, right? Seems overrated. Like, this car is definitely front-wheel drive, I can tell. Like, that one actually is understeer. The FTO that we had earlier was oversteering like it was rear-wheel drive, so very interesting. Obviously, much better balance to get faster on corners, but interesting. Okay, mystery car, let's go. I thought so. R34. 6.9 speed, nice. Minus. This would fit well in a Tokyo Extreme Racer. This should be quite nice. Oh, it's our first S car, 869. I guess all-wheel drive supremacy. Let's see what else in Proving Crowns. One car, I have one mid-engine car. Wait, this is not an F... Oh, never mind. I was like, this is not an FR, are you kidding me? But it still shows the Ford Focus on the bottom. I was looking at the bottom, I was like, it's the exact opposite, the engine is in the middle. It's a rear-wheel drive, it's MR. So if you're unfamiliar with this, it's front, middle, or rear, right? And then it says once again from the rear, depending on where the drive is, in the front or the back. So it can be FF, FR, RR, MR if the engine is in the middle. I'm not sure how good the games are at actually telling you this information, but the first time I encountered a Gran Turismo, I was hella confused. I randomized it by blindfolding myself and choosing a random car at the local grocery store. It's so much fun. I tried. Thanks for 38 months. R2. Oh shit, we don't even have we don't even have performance rating anymore. It just says R. Well, I guess this is gonna be a walk in the park, but I don't mind a fast car in between. Isn't it funny how everyone complains about Forza Horizon having too easy of a progression, and now we basically randomized the old games into the progression system of Forza Horizon. Like, all of a sudden you have a race car, like a serious race car. Just something to think about. This is not a car where you even need traction control. Like, I have it turned off, but the car is just so grippy, it doesn't care. It's probably a bit simplified. A little bit of wheel spin. Yeah, this damage model reminds me of Horizon 1. Had a pretty intense damage model. And this game is old enough to not have the rewind feature. God damn it, now my muscle memory is kicking in the cheese. I really hope they look a little bit at Horizon 1 when they make the next one. Horizon 6 would, I don't know, take the bosses from Horizon 1. I think that would make a big difference for me. Because they did it so well in the first game, right? Like, we actually had a rivalry going with the other races. Very similar to the Blacklist, you just fight through the pack until you get to the top. I'll just say I'm unsure they would commit again to that kind of gameplay. Because it does take a lot of time, right? And work to make that happen. How many different racetracks does this game have? The thing is, I think especially casuals would have fun doing boss fights. I mean, you can even emulate the first Motorsport, it's just a bit difficult. 2, 3, 4 are no problem. Be a character in Horizon 6. Let's see how annoying they are. I love how people are like, next time you play Unbound, please mute all the characters. I would actually like to mute the radio in Unbound. Like, that was the bigger shit show in my opinion. Like, they were talking some mad garbage in the radio. basically, and not having a voice. Depends on the game though, right? There's plenty of games where the main character has a good voice actor and text. Yeah, apparently Forza Motorsport, the very first one, runs on the Xbox emulator, but honestly I don't know what the downsides are. I just heard there are some, like it doesn't emulate too well, which I can relate to because I tried to emulate Metal Madness 3, which it worked, right? The game was running, I finished it, but it was a bit laggy. Actually no, it wasn't laggy, it just had a lot of graphical bugs. No, another Civic, wait a second, don't we have that one already? The randomizer should stop you from getting the same event. Flyweight or heavyweights? Wait, I have neither fly nor heavyweights. If this seat is gonna give me 6 Honda Civics, I'm gonna be mad. Okay, that one's new and overpowered. That one's new and I haven't tried it yet. A little bit less overpowered. Like the modifications. We won one of the pre-tuned cars. Ooh, this car drives nice. Like this is a well-balanced rear-wheel drive car, man. That's a proper race car. It's JDM propaganda. It always drives well. It's a good car. What can I say? You cannot argue against a good thing. True, actually, you still have to check out some visual customization for the cars. I'm afraid can you actually buy cars in this game? Now that I think about it, you can buy cars. Okay. I hope they are fairly cheap because you are not getting a lot of money in the beginning. I guess in the beginning of the game they expect you to just get your reward cars and beat the game that way, which makes sense. It's also fun because it incentivizes you to drive and use a bunch of cars. Feel the difference, you know, your typical experience really. You have it in this game, you have it in Gran Turismo's. I mean, with randomized cars, we're definitely gonna have some bangers that are gonna carry us through some early events, which I'm not too much against. The game actually does need you to do a lot of shit. I really don't like this layout, man, it's so slow. But a lot of these songs are really long though. What are we getting? Ugh. CTSV. Ugh. Well, I guess I have a heavyweight now. Oh, wheel drive shootout. I think I only have one car. It's the overpowered Minis Skyline GTR. Can we please get rid of... Dude, how often does the game give you this fucking test track? Okay, this is actually a critique point of mine. There's definitely too much of this test track. I feel like the game needed a lot more racetracks. Like, how often have we erased this one today? Okay, how much can we cheese in a single lap? It's funny, actually, a few of the game's songs are actually already on my playlist, although I never played this game. Why does the turbo start as -1? There's no way there's a vacuum on it. Okay, I'm saying there's no way, but there might be a way. I just would be surprised. It's this racetrack, like, it's been I'm a bit beefing on this, you know, too many races happen on this track here. In my opinion, this is a very, very boring track, and the different layouts don't really save it. Because the environment is really bland. Like if this is what American farming life is, then yeah, I'm not impressed. The whole proving grounds. I mean, I guess I understand the lore for it, but not really how I would have done it. I think we should leave the proving grounds after this one. I think I've seen enough of this track today. Time to see something else. Anyone got an explanation why the turbo starts in -0.5 territory? Like, I don't really see how a turbo would go into like a light vacuum. At this point I just want to get away from here and get on a real racetrack. Or even any of the other fantasy tracks, because this one, it makes a lot of sense to me that this one never came back, I hope. Did this track come back in any other Forza Motorsport? It wasn't in 4, I'm pretty happy about this. It's a really boring environment to race in. And honestly the track isn't that much more exciting. Most important thing, we get in the car for it. Another one. I have to ask Admister if we can somehow stop from getting duplicates. God damn it. Manufacturers, club races, semi-pro. Dude, there's a lot. If I ever feel like doing this, I'll do it. I'm gonna do another run with the Golf because it's better. You can sell a duplicate. Do you sell it for full price, at least? Or do you get some diminishing returns? Spitfire! Kind of a shame that this banger soundtrack was only in the menus. Back in the Golf. Hey, you know me, man. You really think you're ever gonna see me without a Golf when it's available? Damage model is actually not too bad, but obviously in the game. It's so interesting using in-game credits as an XP bar. Alright, we're getting... One of those days I will recognize the silhouette. Wait, there was no silhouette at all. Alright, the Ellis. I think we're gonna put this car to work, but check the opponents first. 5-6-4. It's actually a fair race. I can't jump to the tune here, can I? This is a good soundtrack, man. Lots of electro. Okay, you know, same thing that I'm missing in Gran Turismo. Why is there no button to tune here? Why do you force me to back out? There's enough buttons on my controller. With 11 ass, that's a lot of ass, indeed. So this thing is gonna have plenty of handling. Let's get some upgrades. I love buying light cars and just slamming some power into it. The thing is, you do need a little bit of extra power. And I might actually lose this one. Wait. Oh, now it's out of range. No! Okay. I didn't even know there's a thing. Oh. Sparko sponsors with less than 200 horsepower. That's why. I could have gotten... Yeah, I didn't read that. Sparko sponsors with anything with less than 200 horsepower, 149 kilowatts. I love that they write both of them down instead of switching it depending on your setting. I seriously doubt that the Speedster is much more powerful. Either spend more money on upgrades or I might need to turn down the difficulty. It might still be plenty fast, so let's see, maybe this is more balanced. Isn't it the same platform? Might be. Like, let me drive behind them, but the size is very similar. You see this? Might be the same base. Speedster is based on the release. Okay, so it comes down to power to weight ratio and how much grip we have. But to be fair, Forza always cheated with how much grip opponents have. And they do have their magical grip moments. You know what I mean. This was a disappointment. They wanted to get down to 600 kilos instead of 723. I bet with modern technology you could easily pull that off. Obviously it would probably really be a lot more expensive. Probably gonna have to use a lot of carbon fiber. What do you guys think of the game soundtrack? Lots of really nice songs in there in my opinion. You know, I should get myself a shortcut that likes the song that is currently playing. And then afterwards I can check my liked songs list and just add them to my favorites. Are you kidding me, man? Curses! Didn't pay attention. Oh, come on, dude. Do you get money actually? Second place? I mean, okay. Do I have to do it? I get a car as well. I got the same car again, are you serious? I'm confused. Why did I get a car just now? For the level up? Did I get a new car for the level up? And it was the car I already had? Oh boy. I hate when I'm slow in a straight line. Because usually I can outplay opponents in the corners. I just hate having the slower car. Like, I would be so salty in F1 if I didn't have the best car. Like this season I would be salty if I wasn't McLaren, you know? Seasons before, or rather 2 seasons before, I would have been mad if I didn't have the Red Bull. Each 5 levels you get a car. But why do I get the car that I already had? I'm not sure now. I definitely don't want to give away any kind of speed. So I don't want the arrow on this. How much horsepower? How much kilowatts was it? I have 141 right now. Is this weight reduction? Ooh. 120 kilos are just gone. Just took your mom out of the driver's seat. You could have told me that before. Race transmission. Well, shifts are faster. I'll take it. So where's the guy? Dude, the Speedster is insane. That car is just better. Alright, so let's get ahead and stay ahead. So I have better brakes now, so that should help a lot. Yeah, okay. Like my handling is way better now. It's actually pretty fun now. Oh wow, the handling is great. Like, did you remember how much I slid earlier? The car was just sliding everywhere. Doesn't weight help with grip? Yes, but it really is counterproductive in corners. Sure, it helps you primarily with braking, right? Because there's more force that pushes you down. But once you get into the corners, all of that extra weight is gonna pull your car to the outside. So the only thing it does is help you brake in a straight line. So it's always better to lose weight. It's always better to have a lighter car. Like, if you need more downforce, you know, you just put more aero on the car. But you don't want it to be heavy, because when you accelerate, you're not gonna have much downforce, but the car is gonna be light. Make sense? How much money did I actually spend on this? Definitely went overboard. You know, sometimes my mind puts other games into other games. Like, I was thinking, for example, how I would drift this track if I was playing Blur. Where can you use a nitro boost to start a drift? And if you do a long drift, get a boost back. So you basically keep boost chaining. Like, it keeps your hunger in check. But why not silver? What? Oh, it's silver overall, because, okay. I thought the game scammed me there. Trying not to break traction. Because the car really wants to. In my opinion, you should always put the finish line on the minimap. because on a lot of tracks, I'm not sure where the finish line is and I tend to oversee it. And I bet I'm not the only one. You know what this game is missing? The jingle. Jingle when you get a gold medal. Ooh, Astra Extreme. I think the one thing that bothers me is the limited amount of racetracks. You end up driving a lot of the same events. Drive Club is gonna dunk on this game's track list. Their calmest, song list, really good. Handling's great. Obviously it got developed over time. Nowadays it's better. But if we do the comparison, Forza Motorsport versus Gran Turismo at the time, you'd probably still get a bit more out of Gran Turismo thanks to more racetracks. And I think Forza was probably easier to drive for beginners in comparison to Gran Turismo. I think Gran Turismo's cars were a little bit harder to control. With America and Motegi DLC. Dude, I still feel like I do so many Tsukuba events. It really doesn't help that I don't like Proving Grounds and I don't like Tsukuba. And I'm super biased to tracks like this. 15 tracks. Not gonna lie, it feels like less. But I think that's kind of the game's fault because it keeps giving you the same events over and over again in the beginning. I assume you get more of the tracks, more mixed up at higher difficulties. But you're right, this is a game worth playing, Dustin. only took a randomizer for me to play it. I think the time when Nordschleife clicked for me is when I did time trialing in GT7. I think that was the first time we actually played the track enough to remember anything. Dude, I'm actually very surprised that Benny Benassi made it into a racing game. Ooh, a Buick Regal GNX. I still would prefer if the game would always ask you for a car choice. Oh, here's some new ones. Free breather. Normally aspirated engine. Yeah, I still would prefer car selection every time. And the game only gives it to you when you have a wrong car. Right, if I pick my Golf, which has a turbo, it goes to the event that requires a naturally aspirated car, then I get to choose my car. It's a bit annoying. Another thing is, now it's too late to check my opponents. Dude, that Maserati is naturally aspirated. All-wheel drive is gonna be a banger. Okay, let's start small. How about a GT3? Oh, there's Laguna Seca. We found it after all this time. Oh, there's actually a DB9 Coupe in here, which might be a competition. But yeah, it's weird that they have reverse order. Fast cars in the front, slow cars in the back. I mean, it would make sense from a qualifying standpoint that the fast car is going to be in the front. But it also means you're going to be front running the entire game. If you start in the back with the other fast cars and you have to break through, I think that would be more fun. And I very much understand why Gran Turismo is doing it. It's also, that's not money in the game, they paid the license to EA. A lot of people know EA had the exclusive rights to Need for Speed, to Porsche in Need for Speed from 2000 all the way to 2015. That's how long they had the rights to Porsche exclusively in their games. Dude, the guy that struck that deal in the year 2000 with Porsche was an absolute genius, made EA so much money. And yeah, the only way to get Porsche in your game would be to actually pay EA. And a few games did, this was one of them. In the future, they just took Roof. Just a tuning company which takes Porsches and beefs them up. I remember from Drive Club that the roofs were super fast, but hard to control. Those were Widowmakers. Do you know any other game between 2000 and 2015 that had real Porsche cars? Even Drive Club was using Roof exclusively. They didn't pay for the Porsche license. Really? Crit had Porsche cars? Whoops. A bit overcooked. Forza Horizon 2 had it as well. Insane. Dude, Forza Horizon 2 looks so bad on the 360. I really regretted not having an Xbox One. I borrowed Horizon 2 for my 360 because I couldn't afford it at the time. And I was really happy I didn't buy it because it looked so bad on the 360. Played it on stream on emulator. It looks hella bad. Actually, was it on emulator or did I play on my console? I don't remember anymore. I look at the top at this G meter. I hate it. No regrets, huh? Hey, a new racetrack, by the way. It took a while, but we found a new one. And I totally did not know the layout. There's a different layout than GT7, okay? I'm confused. I was actually thinking of revisiting Project Cars 3 to see why I didn't like it that much. It was actually alright. It was one of those games that just had a huge stigma around itself, right? Because the fans were waiting for Project Cars 1 and 2 continuation, right? They wanted another sim that they liked. And I can understand it because they kick-started, right? On Kickstarter, crowdfunding. They crowdfunded the first game and led to the second game. Only 17 seconds of penalty. It's kind of what I want. I want my car to be slightly faster in a straight line because I don't want to be tailgating the guy. Yeah, Project Cars 3 is a lot more like the shift games. I think the upgrading system was kind of ass though. Like I don't want points attached to my car. I mean, you can still do it additionally, but it felt so forced. Like it just wanted to be another Forza. So if you haven't seen this game yet, the penalty only counts for the time trial portion of the race, not the race itself. So it's not like I actually gonna eat 5 seconds here. Gonna get it when it's on sale. I mean, that's always fair. But honestly, why wait? Why wait? Let me show you something, bro. You wanna support the stream? Check out Instant Gaming. Wait, it's not discounted? Are you serious? What? Why is it 60 bucks? The deluxe, I mean, that's ridiculous. The standard edition is 43 bucks, deluxe edition is still 60 bucks? Okay. They're mental. How have they not discounted their game yet? That game is not a gem. It's also not plated in gold or diamonds. This is not worth the money. FF Crossroads. Another game that definitely deserved a discount. I have no idea how this game released. I got a 360 very late. I got my 360 a few years after the release of Blur. So that means probably 2013-14, maybe when I got the console. And I was still broke at the time, so, you know, I just bought Blur. Dude, I was so broke. I remember I was contemplating, do I really want to buy Xbox Live just so I can play Blur? And I actually remember convincing my clanmates to buy it for me. Like very often they just bought it for me, man. For me it was a serious consideration if I spent like 10 bucks a month on a Xbox Live subscription. Yeah, GTA 5 was actually one of the few games that I bought at full price. Explain to me how you buy GTA 5 7 times. I understand original console, PC, and then maybe next gen. Not really sure why you would get next gen after PC though. Ah, Tsukuba, kill me, man. I don't want Tsukuba. Let that motherfucker burn. PC Enhance. Yeah, but PC Enhance was just an update. I don't think that counts. But yeah, I know, PlayStation 3, 4, 5 and PC. Still, I don't really understand why you would buy... I mean, maybe you wanted the enhanced version on console first. Right, it took longer for the enhanced version to get to the PC. But for me it's very simple. You just make a fantastic game and you sell it for 10 years. Right, same thing happened to Skyrim. Not just GTA 5. I mean, GTA 6 is gonna be the same story, man. They're gonna update that game for another 10 years. Yeah, and I bit the bullet and bought myself a PS5 Pro for GTA 6. I'm ready. 30 FPS ray tracing. I doubt they will use ray tracing. But I bet 4K in GTA 6 is gonna be 30 FPS. I assume there's gonna be a 1440p mode with 60 FPS. You know, the number one reason why I don't want to upgrade my main monitor to 4K yet is a lot of games will support 60 or even 120 FPS when you stick to 1440p, right? Like that's what GT7 does. The thing about the ray tracing on consoles, everyone has the same capability, although it's also not true. Like the PlayStation 5 Pro has better ray tracing capabilities. I mean, 4K high refresh rate sounds like fun, but most games will not run at those settings. Some games will for sure, especially if you're willing to go down to medium. I don't want to be in that weird spot where I want to choose, where I'm not sure if I even want to mount a 4K monitor if some games will just, you know, run reasonably in 1440p. Right, that's the number one reason why I haven't done that. Too many games are not gonna get reasonable frame rates at 4K. And the other thing is, you guys cannot really benefit from 4K yet. Boring as regular RX-7. Still worth $500,000. Okay, so that was amateur. I'm not going back to proven grounds. This thing needs upgrades. It's heavy and has shit grip. Really shit grip. It changes the GTR logo. Weird placement of the exhaust, but okay. I'll take the upgrade. So I need to go on a diet, man. 10% discount. How nice of you. How much are we losing? Wow. 200 kilos, man. See, that's what I meant. This is not a heavy car. 1,350 kilos is not heavy. It really isn't. Especially when you have over 500 horsepower. Bootleg Daytona. Yeah. I mean, that's a crowd, dude. Like, that's like 100,000 seats. That's not too shabby. I feel like NASCAR is fun to be there in person when you hear the engines roar and you have the crowd and you just hang out with people, you know. It's more like the spectacle and the event itself. NASCAR on TV, I don't know, man. Go left sometimes. And ever so slightly lift off the gas. Dude, how did the 864 not win? The top secret is 15. Psh, don't tell anyone. Like this car. Let's see if we can use it somewhere else. What is this? I hate it when it's just a line on the bottom, a Boxster S. Doesn't look too much different than the Boxster that was available in Need for Speed Porsche, but I think that was a 97 model. Ooh, can use a new one. Don't look at the chat. I mean, I was just full throttling this thing without traction control and looking at the chat. What do you think was gonna happen? You know, I'm missing the events in between, you know, like the coffee break in Gran Turismo, or like bowling in Motorsport 4. This is really a great thing to do. Like car mini games to break the monotony is a forgotten art, if you ask me. You have got to be kidding me. This fucking racetrack. Alright, pitting, why not? No pit crew, fantastic. That's it? That's it? The car just parks there with no animation, no nothing? Okay, that's a bit cheap. Son, I'm disappointed. That was probably one of the worst pit stops I've seen in any video game ever. Ooh, Mustang. It's the GOAT! Then again, there's so many cars that are called the GTO. Probably not the D-GOAT, a GOAT. So I think the car selection in this game is really good. I'm just not the biggest fan of the tracks. Not enough, and honestly I love the tracks that the game has, I'm not a fan of. Thanks, man. Unlock all events, unlock all cars, that's part of the randomizer. Those are features. Like if you wanna speed up, if you don't wanna go through the slow events, which some people might, this is actually something you can do after you install the mod. Just gotta include the B folder, the 2 folder as well. There's a 1 folder and a 2 folder. I feel like if the new the new Forza Motorsport was a bit more structured, like the predecessors, I think a lot more people would be engaged in the career mode. Just gonna mess around with the last slide. Oh, do we get a car every time we do something? That's crazy. That's gonna give us a lot of cars. Wait, we got 2 cars? So we have a randomizer active with what? Why am I getting so many cars? Cars only for the arcade mode. Okay, we actually have some differences now. 3 cars for gold medal, 2 for silver. Oh, okay, I see. I know you unlock the cars. True, you only unlock the cars for these game modes. Ooh, NSX. You think we can get 7 again? There's not many cars in the U performance class, so there's the Chrysler ME412 concept car. Looks a bit better than the one in Midnight Club. Better model. Oh sure, let's use it, why not? I know this is not the most exciting game, but I do want to show you something new. Something you've probably never seen or played yourself. Unless you watched Dustin. I think he was the first to get a working copy of the randomizer. And he's also a big fan of this game. And yeah, this is my first playthrough. I have not enjoyed this game before. So yeah, it's more on the dry side because it is a lot of, you know, pick your cars and go race. It gets saved with the other game modes and the way stuff unlocks that keeps you thinking about, okay, I can use the car for this type of event and I need certain upgrades. Maybe I need to adjust the difficulty because I don't have money for upgrades. By the way, M3 GTR hype? I guess I don't have that unlocked yet. Or I scrolled by it and I didn't notice. Even though I'm using sim steering, it works really well on the controller. But I guess at this point I have a lot more sensitive hands when it comes to not only the gas, but obviously for steering too. You don't just want to slam the steering wheel or the gas or the brakes. What exactly made the M3 GTR so much better than competition? Did they just have a better engine? Like, did they manage to just get more horsepower from the same regulations over their competitors? Obviously it was a V8, right? So did it just make more horsepower, or why was it so dominant? Better engine that wasn't in the regular M3. Oh, that was against the rules though, wasn't it? Yeah, okay, I see why. Which still doesn't make sense to me. Why don't they just put a better engine into the street cars? Or was it basically like some kind of prototype engine that they couldn't easily replicate for the mass market? I guess that's it. They never sold the V8 racing engine. Bastards! Made for a good story though. Made 10 of them to meet the regulations. They changed them to 100s, and BMW said it wasn't worth. The thing is, after playing something like Motorsport 2, I can definitely appreciate Need for Speed a bit more, because it does put a lot more life into it, if you ask me. Right, racing can get very dry, even if it's a really good game, right? I think Motorsport 2 is a good game, but it does belong onto the more dry end of racing games, I would say. Like, Pro Street in comparison is such a banger that brings so much life to the party. It then answers 30% of the game. Yeah, and if you think about it that way, then all the other games are just 70%. So yeah, short review. Amazing car list in Motorsport 2. Runs fantastically on emulator. Obviously it looks a bit soft with the low resolution, but other than that, there's a good racing game here. Lots of content, definitely a time sink if you need one. Yeah, good handling, good car list. The track list I'm a bit disappointed in. I wish there were more tracks. Better tracks too. I think it's 15 different tracks with a few extra layouts for a lot of them. And the tracks don't hold up as much. The game also has a really good soundtrack, which sadly only plays in the menus, so I recommend you load it up into Spotify and listen to it on the side during the races. What else is there to say? Also has an arcade mode where you can check out a lot of the cars early. Just a different way to progress in the game. Yeah, as I said earlier, I think it gets boring after a while. For example, like after playing 3 hours, I think I'm okay. I don't wanna do more of it today. But here and there, whenever you have a free half hour or more, do a few races and then move on with your day. I think that's always the case for me when it comes to the more competitive side of racing. You just take a race car and you put it on a typical racetrack and you just try to either beat a certain time or certain opponents. I already said this is more of a dry experience. Like if it had more elements that, let's say, GT3 or 4 had, even GT2, right? It would be different. Like I think on purpose they didn't do certain things like Gran Turismo, but I would say to their own detriment. But it could have been better. That's it. That was the emulation on Xenia Canary for the game. Works great. Very nice. And yeah, that's peak. Haha, funny. So sleep tight, to come back tomorrow for more, and good night, Johns. Bye bye. Have a good one. Time to vanish.